Welcome to SS2 Commerce. Today we study the Central Bank of Nigeria, its history, structure, and functions. The CBN is the apex bank of Nigeria, the institution responsible for monetary policy, financial stability, and the integrity of the Nigerian financial system. Understanding the CBN is fundamental to understanding how money, banking, and commerce work in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria was established by the CBN Act of 1958 and commenced operations on July 1, 1959. It was created to replace the West African Currency Board, which had managed currency for British West Africa, Nigeria, Gold Coast, Sierra Leone, and Gambia. The CBN began issuing Nigerian pounds in 1959. After independence in 1960, the CBN became Nigeria's own apex monetary authority. Nigeria adopted the Naira and Kobo on January 1, 1973, replacing the pound at a rate of £2 equals 1 naira. Key facts. Established, 1958, CBN Act, operations commenced July 1, 1959. Headquarters, CBN headquarters is in Abuja, moved from Lagos in 2004. Governor, appointed by the President, confirmed by the Senate, 5-year term, renewable ones. Structure, Board of Directors plus Monetary Policy Committee, MPC. The CBN performs 7 major functions. 1. Issue of legal tender currency. The CBN is the only institution with the legal authority to issue Nigerian currency, the Naira and Kobo. It determines the denominations in circulation, designs and prints the notes, and withdraws old or damaged notes. The Naira is legal tender, meaning it must be accepted as payment for debts. 2. Banker to the federal government. The CBN acts as the government banker. It maintains the government accounts, receives government revenues, such as oil revenues and taxes channeled through the Federation account, makes payments on behalf of government, and manages government debt, issuing treasury bills and FGN bonds. 3. Banker to commercial banks. Bankers Bank. The CBN acts as a bank to commercial banks. Commercial banks keep their cash reserves at the CBN, cash reserve ratio. When commercial banks need emergency funds, they borrow from the CBN at the monetary policy rate, MPR. This is why the CBN is called the lender of last resort. 4. Monetary policy. The CBN formulates and implements monetary policy, managing the money supply and interest rates to achieve macroeconomic objectives, low inflation, exchange rate stability, economic growth, full employment. Key monetary policy tools. Monetary policy rate, MPR, the benchmark interest rate at which CBN lends to commercial banks. Cash reserve ratio, CR, percentage of deposits commercial banks must keep at CBN. Open market operations, OMO, buying and selling government securities to control money supply. Special interventions, funding specific sectors, agriculture, manufacturing. 5. Foreign exchange management. The CBN manages Nigeria foreign exchange reserves and determines the exchange rate regime. Nigeria has moved between fixed, managed float, and freely floating systems. As of 2023, the CBN unified the exchange rate windows under a managed float. The CBN also manages gross external reserves, typically $30 to $40 billion, to provide a buffer for imports and external obligations. 6. Financial system regulation and supervision. The CBN licenses and supervises all banks and financial institutions in Nigeria, commercial banks, merchant banks, microfinance banks, mortgage banks, development finance institutions. It sets minimum capital requirements, currently 25 billion naira for commercial banks with international license, conducts examinations, and can revoke licenses of failing banks. 7. Developmental function. The CBN promotes economic development through intervention funds. Anchor Borrowers Program, ABP, cheap loans to smallholder farmers to boost food production. Agricultural Credit Guarantee Scheme Fund, ACGSF, guarantees loans to farmers. Real Sector Support Facility, low-interest loans to manufacturing companies. MSME Development Fund, support for micro, small and medium enterprises. Youth Entrepreneurship Development Program, YEDP. A critical function of the CBN is maintaining financial system stability, preventing bank failures that would destroy deposits and undermine confidence. After the 2008 to 2009 banking crisis, the CBN, under Governor Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, removed 8 bank CEOs and injected 620 billion naira to rescue failing banks. The Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, was created in 2010 to buy the toxic loans of rescued banks. Central bank independence, the ability of the CBN to make monetary policy decisions without political interference, is important for price stability. When governments control the central bank, they may pressure it to print money to finance deficits, causing hyperinflation, as occurred in Zimbabwe in the 2000s. The CBN Act gives the CBN a degree of independence, though in practice the Nigerian CBN has faced political pressure. Summary of Central Bank of Nigeria functions. CBN established 1958, operations from July 1, 1959, HQ Abuja. 7 main functions. 1. Issue legal tender, Naira. 2. Banker to government, government accounts, treasury bills, FGN bonds. 3. Banker to banks, lender of last resort, CRR deposits. 4. Monetary policy, MPR, CRR, OMO. 5. Foreign exchange management, reserves, exchange rate. 6. Banking regulation and supervision, licenses, capital requirements, examinations. 7. Developmental role, Anchor Borrowers Program, ACGSF, MSME Fund. Key concepts, MPR, monetary policy rate, CRR, cash reserve ratio, legal tender.